Well, today is September 24th, and I just want to show you my cornfield plot real quick, which is 1 acre in size, and the soybeans over there, 3.5 acres in size. Today's, like I said, it's the 24th of September, and I'm guessing, I'm trying to figure out what I ended up yielding, and I'm assuming here in Pennsylvania we get around 140 is the average, 140 bushels per acre. I know that's not what I'm going to get. The spacing's not perfect and everything, and I end up broadcasting, not using a drill or anything like that, or a planter, but they do look good. So I'm assuming even if I get 100 bushels out of this 1 acre, that's 5,600 pounds of corn, which is quite a bit. That's a lot. So even though we know corn's not the best thing, but it's like McDonald's. They'll come hungry and leave happy. And hey, it is what it is. But luckily next year, I don't know how long this will last. Next year, we're gonna have an additional 3.5 acres just beside this food plot over there to plant in corn. So we're gonna do 3.5 acres of solid corn, and I'll probably have to put out fluoride or something for the deer because their teeth are gonna be rotted in a couple years. But luckily, I mean, deer, yeah, it's not good for them, but they know not to eat it. They're not going to eat it and eat it and then until they're laying down on their side and still eating like a horse or a human. They know when to stop and when to eat something else. So it's not that bad. Over here, these are the soybeans, 3.5 acres. They turned out great. I'm guessing they're just about the same as what most farmers have. My exclusion cage is over there, and I can just see the top of the 5-foot T-post sticking out. And of course, a foot's buried in the ground. So 4 feet minus about 8 or 10 inches is how high the beans are over there. So they did really well. I think it's in the 40s for the average bushel per acre in Pennsylvania. Half of this food plot though, on the other side, the fence has been open for a while, so the deer have been wiping them out. Luckily, I was able to save this side here. So I'm guessing if I got 40 bushels an acre here, 20 on the outside, interpolate to 30 bushels per acre, that ends up being, I wrote it down because I was messing with my phone here earlier. If that's what I get out of this 3.5 acres, that's 6,300 pounds of soybeans. And of course, it's a little healthier than the corn with the protein. It's probably 3 times the amount. Maybe, I don't know what's protein on corn, like 8%. So a lot more protein here and fiber. So that'll help the gut, that'll even it out. And of course in the summer, you know, it has the phosphorus, which is huge for antler development. The protein is, but phosphorus as well, and calcium. But they're just now starting to turn yellow, which is a behind schedule because they got nipped off and then they had to rebound, and they did, but like I said, it's just set them back. But that's what it ends up being. Maybe it'll be a little bit less, maybe it'll be more. I doubt it'll be much more than that. But either way, between the corn at 56 and this at 63, it ends up being 11,900 pounds of food. So that's a lot. And that's just the beans and the corn. So if April 1st, which is like 190 days away, that would be 62 pounds of food a day. Of course, with the amount of deer we have here, that's really not a whole lot once you think about it. But it's better than nothing. So, and that would be all the way until April 1st when I feel like things start to green up just a little bit. So one of these plants I yanked out and I counted 69 pods on one plant, but that was near the outside. So I'm not gonna, you know, lie to myself, but they do look good. You can see them. Let me see here. See the nodules on there, so that's good. Put some nitrogen back in eventually. So there's one. They look pretty good. And then I guess I can yank an ear of corn off of here. Yeah, look at this thing. So the corn looks good and the beans. That'd be a pretty good thumbnail. Right like that. Corn and beans. I didn't really calculate out the rest here because I just don't know. I don't know. These are the oats. They're turning out, and they're looking good. I have oats and I have crimson clover in here. I might as well show you real quick while I'm in here. I was just gonna do the beans and the corn, but you can see the crimson clover coming up. So that's looking nice. I'm hoping it makes it through the year or through the winter. I don't know how well it's gonna do up here in Pennsylvania, zone 5 or whatever. And it depends how cold it gets, but I just want something that'll flower early, attract insects, bugs, turkeys. Anyhow, here is, I think this is, it's a half of an acre of the wildlife game sorghum, and it turned out great. I was pretty worried about it, and it ended up being just fine. So I don't know how much is here tonnage wise, probably not all that much, but either way, for a turkey, it would be quite a bit, I would assume. And then, oh, well, we do have another half acre of beans over here. You can't, it's just adjacent to this dirt patch. This square piece here, I just planted it last week. This is rye, and then the wheat's over by the, this is rye, winter rye here. And then, let me move along quick. Okay. And then from here over, this is winter wheat. I didn't plant it nearly as heavy as I did the oats, as you can see. But I have another half acre of soybeans just on the other side of this plot here. So you have that tonnage as well. And then against the woods back there, between the beans and the woods, is a half acre of brassicas, turnips and radishes. So there's a ton of food in here. We'll just see what it ends up, what they prefer the most. I'm guessing the beans until they're gone, or I don't know when they'll start hitting the corn. I have no clue. I thought they'd be all in the soybeans, but they've been eating turnips and whatnot, and we haven't had the frost that people claim, and I still don't have any evidence of that, like solid evidence that it increases the sugar content. I don't know how to measure the sugar content in a plant and accurately with just like a Brix meter. That's not going to tell you the actual sugar. That just tells you the total like solubles in the, it doesn't work like that, I don't think. But anyhow, that is it. I just figured I'd show you the corn and the beans. That's my guesstimate on how much it'll yield bushels wise, and we'll see what happens here throughout the winter. I'll give updates every week. I'll just come out here and show you how things are progressing. Between hunting, we have squirrel seasons in, so hopefully we can do some squirrel hunting, shoot some does here, of course, many does, and whatever else comes our way. So that's it on the food plot. They're yellowing up, so maybe the deer will start leaving them alone a little. I don't know. It's not slowing them down outside of the fence. Thanks for watching. We will see you.